When we work with DPs, especially who have a super clear, they've worked with drones before, they understand what we can and cannot do, the physics of it, which is really big, and then they're good at describing that to us. It's certainly not just me when we're doing a drone job. You know, it's my camera operator as much as me, it's my safety as much as me, and our ability to work together as a three-person team. My name's Tom Comet. I'm the head pilot at Drone Boy, as the name suggests. We're a drone service provider based here in the Toronto area. I'm a member of ATSI 667. Been a member there for 6 years, maybe 7 years now. Been a member of the CSC for 4 years. We've been really heavy into the film and TV side of working with drones. My history with drones basically goes back to 2011, 2012. I first started seeing them. I tend to be an early adopter, and I'm always looking for things that interest me. I'm a child at heart. I like to play with things, and I like to be entertained myself first. No matter what I do, the sky is literally the limit. We can do whatever they want, and it's really great when we work with DPs, especially who have a super clear, they've worked with drones before, they understand what we can and cannot do, the physics of it, which is really big, and then they're good at describing that to us, because it's one thing to just show up on a set and have them just say, well, we want you to fly, from that side of the building to that side of the building, and then come around the front and then fly in the front door, and it's just like, that's not how it works. We can't fly past where we can see, and we can't really fly from way behind the building to in the front door. I mean, anything's possible with enough planning, but we're just trying to figure this out on the day. That's not going to happen. So it's a matter of really drilling down, ideally in advance, getting an idea of what they want, and if we speak the same language, then it's going to be great. It's going to be magic. A lot of stuff's since drones have come into my radar and I've started working with them, things have changed immensely. Things are changing again, sort of right now in a big way for cinematography with drones. FPV is getting to be huge. FPV, first person view. So basically it comes from the world of race drones and these drone races where basically the pilots immerse themselves in goggles. They can see what the drone sees. Very low latency, so there's no delay between what the pilot's seeing and what the drone sees, which enables them to fly the drone from looking at it in the goggles. In order for us to be legal and do this in a commercial sense, we still need to have a spotter, or ideally more than one spotter, always watching the drone. So the pilot's seeing what the drone sees, spotters are watching the drone, keeping us legal. But these drones have the ability to fly so dynamically and so fast, and we can get shots that we've just never been able to get before. And now we're applying this to cinema projects, mostly television commercials, mostly car commercials at this point. But it's a really cool fusion of this race drone technology with cameras that are now we're able to fly bigger cameras. You can even fly a red on an FPV drone now. They're bigger and less dynamic and less fast, but there's sort of a sweet spot now with like the Komodos and the Z-Cams, kind of the mid-sized camera bodies, still have the high resolution, still shoot a nice flat log color profile, and we can fly those things at 120 miles an hour, and we can fly them through doorways, and we can fly them through bridge girders, and we can chase airplanes with these things. Really cool thing is the pilot is right there, so he can intimately see what the drone sees. And we're starting to actually combine that with our heavy lift stuff. Like we just had a shot on Handmaid's Tale. It's actually in the trailer for this next season that's coming up. We're following like 10 feet behind the truck, and then we have to rise up over the truck with them in the back, over the whole convoy, and then up through, and there was all these power lines on Barton Street where we did the shot, fly up through the power lines and then reveal the burned out Chicago. And depth perception, like for a normal drone, doing it conventionally where you're just standing there looking at the drone, once you're more than 20, 30, 50 feet away, it's so hard to judge that distance that the drone would be away from that truck, because they wanted us to follow, and then slowly go up over the vehicle. So we strapped the FPV rig on big heavy lift drone and use that perspective. And then I'm right there behind the truck. Like as the pilot, I'm 10 feet behind the truck, no problem. Okay, start rising up we go. Oh, there's a power line. There's another power line, space between them, up we go. There's no way we could have got that shot without the FPV technology. Yeah, so something different and interesting that's come down the pipeline with drones, sort of because of the same technology that's enabled drones to fly, one of them being high voltage, high power lithium batteries, LiPo batteries. The other part's not involved with drones, but high powered LEDs, really lightweight LEDs. Someone smarter than me a few years ago decided to put all that together, and they came up with a really nice little 4-banger LED emitter pack that fits right inside the Movi Pro gimbal cage. And then we can strap all that on the drone, and it's got about the same amount of burn time as the drone has flight time. So now what we're able to do is we're able to put these 400 watt LED emitters that has the equivalent of 52,000 lumens of light anywhere we could have previously put a camera. So we can put this lighting package, point it anywhere we want, and create some pretty unique effects. We've done everything from this happens quite a bit. They want us to simulate a helicopter. So the CG team's going to come in post and build a helicopter. What they want us to do is to be the helicopter. So we're a helicopter with a searchlight on it. Someone's running across a beach, or someone's doing this. Man from Toronto, they got us to do the helicopter type scene. And then a lot of times when they want that, they actually want a second drone, one of our other heavy lift drones with the camera on it, filming the first drone and then filming what it sees on the ground below. And then they're just going to build a helicopter in the middle around the lightship drone. That'd be one context for it. Another thing that we've done recently that was really successful, we just finished this Solomon commercial for a new running shoe. Super artistic, in the winter, amazing shot. Basically running through snow, running through winter forests, running through trees, this guy running with these badass Solomon shoes, us flying with the drone, illuminating it, and again, shooting it with another drone for some of it. And the parts when they were in the trees, we were providing the light source above the trees. The whole idea was it was a solar eclipse. So the lightship drone represented the solar eclipse. And the cool thing that happens when you fly over the trees, because you've got this light source that moves so dynamically, you get these shadows that are just doing things that shadows never do. They're moving quickly and they're moving at weird, abrupt angles. And it's almost like a time lapse with the way the sun's moving. If you imagine the sun moving across the sky, but we're able to control that, and it's the only time I've seen that effect. Like no other light source has really moved above trees that I've seen like that. Using it as a remote light source is the coolest, because it's not like the lights that directors and DPs are used to working with necessarily. Like we don't have the infinite control over color temperature, and we can't do all that fancy stuff, but we can put a high power light, dimmable light source anywhere in the sky quickly and easily, and we can move it anywhere you want quickly. So if you imagine how long it takes to set up a crane or a boom with a bunch of lighting or sky panels or some of this stuff, you could have your team working on that for a half a day. We can do it in 30 seconds. Drone tends to be either first or last. Usually we know because we've seen it on the call sheet. Sometimes the day's been flipped around. You never know. We're always first or last. So it's either a total rush. We got to get everything built. We want to start shooting in a half an hour. It's like, well, we don't even have a camera body yet. Where's our camera body? Because usually we don't have a dedicated camera body just for us. Sometimes they rent one just for drone, just for the day. Sometimes they're using their C body. You never know. The sooner we can get that, the better, because it takes us maybe an hour. Depends. If it comes built and we have to unbuild their camera first, it's going to take even longer. Usually the camera department will strip the body down, so we're just given bare bones, body. That's the best way to do it. From the minute we get the body to having it built, balanced, running, roll, stop, follow focus, everything ready to go, maybe 45 minutes. We tell people to budget more, an hour, but 45 minutes, we can do it in a half an hour if we're in a real hurry and everything's working perfectly. But it's, again, like any of this stuff, and especially drone, we can't be rushed. I always tell people this: we have to do a safety brief before we fly. Anytime before we launch a drone, it's part of our mandate, part of the regulations. We have to safety brief anybody who's going to be close to the drone while it's in operation. I always say safety is our number one concern. Getting your shot is secondary. And I mean, that applies to every department, but it really applies to drone. These things are big, dangerous, technical. They fly. They've got spinning knives on them. We need to treat them with the utmost respect. So anytime we start to get pushed back, we start to get rushed, we are going at the speed we're going at. We're building the camera package as quick as we build it. And that's, again, part of the initial conversation that ideally we've had with, at that point, the AD, the DP, the PM. They know we've given them this piece of paper saying, give us an hour and a half to, give us a pre-call of an hour and a half if you want us ready for your start of day. If your day starts at 6 a.m., we want to be there at 4:30 with a camera body at 4:30 so we can start and we can be ready to go. Because then, it's not just a matter of building it, then it's a matter of going to set and seeing what's changed. Maybe we tech scouted it 2 weeks before. Oh, well, that sign wasn't there. That power line wasn't there. That, it wasn't raining. It wasn't windy. There's all these things that can change, and physics really impacts what we do. It's like wind can be brutal. Rain is obviously terrible for drones. We can fly in the rain. The cameras don't like it much. The drones can do it. That's another thing it says on our little sheet. The pilot in command, being me usually, person flying the machine, has total responsibility over that machine, has the ultimate say yes or no. We won't be pressured into flying when we can't. And that doesn't happen anymore. I couldn't even tell you the last time we were pressured to do something we didn't want to do. Maybe in my career it's happened once or twice where people have tried to do it. And maybe when I first started doing it, maybe I was a little more susceptible to it. Them going, oh, you really got to do it, or you're not going to get paid if you don't fly. Or, now I've been around long enough. We have enough respect. People trust us. Our expertise is keeping these machines in the air, getting quality shots, and keeping everybody safe, second to none. Then people rely on us for that, and that's just how it goes. What should DPs or directors or production managers be looking for in a drone team? The history, for sure. Someone who's been doing this stuff for a while. Look at their demo reel. Look at their team. Make sure they've got people that are experienced, that have been doing it for a while, that have worked together for a while. It's not just a pilot and he's like, oh, I'll bring someone out to do camera. It's certainly not just me when we're doing a drone job. It's my camera operator as much as me. It's my safety as much as me, and our ability to work together as a 3-person team. Without that, it's just not going to happen. Safety for sure. And then obviously all the paperwork. You need the appropriate insurance. It's aviation insurance. The insurance game right now is the insurance market is just a disaster at the moment. It's really hard to get decent insurance, especially for anything that's considered high risk. Drones are considered high risk, even though there's never been a big accident, a big payout type accident in all of the history that we've been able to ascertain, that IATSE's been able to ascertain. But we're still considered high risk. So getting insurance is a big deal. A lot of shows want 10 million now. And that's not cheap, not easy. They won't just give it to anybody. So yeah, find people who've got the appropriate insurance. The paperwork, like an advanced pilot's license, relatively easy to get. The drones, if they want a heavy lift drone, there's not many people doing that because that's a huge investment to get that. Because you don't just have one, you got to have two. You're out on set. The compass is failing and this one is not going. It's not going. Well, here. We got another one. You have to have two. Two is one is none. Look for that kind of stuff. Not someone just working out of a hatchback and showing up with a Mavic. You got to have all that stuff going on.